What's up, man?
I can hear
Finally
you,
got you.
bro.
Finally got you
Wait a
on.
second. Wait. What do you say?
Said finally got you on.
Yeah. It's been a while, huh?
What do you mean been a while? It's been never.
That's true.
Oh,
So, how are you doing?
good, good. So yeah, we gotta make it officially clear. So I introduced you. You never claimed you never saw it. So how's it spelled? I mean, how's it pronounced? Niels or Niles?
Niels.
Niels.
Yeah,
Okay. So
that's
we got Niels from Prostitute Disfigurements, Centurian, Unbenign, and then a couple other things, right?
Knox.
Oh yeah, you're in Knox too, yeah. But you were just on
Yeah.
you were just on the were you on the after the first full length? Because all I own is the first full length. You and I were talking through WhatsApp. You were on the EP after or the one before?
Yeah, you
Which
had a
one?
demo.
The demo? Okay.
Yeah, but that was with Saturn vocals. Then you have XXR, and then after that you had the Blood Bones and Ritual Death mini album,
So
and
you were
that's
on
the
the
one I sing on.
so you were on the basically the first release and the last release, not the middle one.
No, only on the last one.
Only on the last one. Okay.
Only on the Blood Bones EP.
So Seth sings on the demo then as well.
Yeah,
Okay, because I only had the first full length, which I like it, but I didn't like it as much as Centurion because I felt like it was really blasting, but the songs weren't as identifiable as something like Corazonic Chaos Gods, where the songs were very identifiable and memorable. But Intensity and Extremity, I thought the Knox was really good, but song wise and memorability, songs like Damned and Dead and Law of Burning and Hail Caligula, it didn't have songs that really stood out like that. Was my take on it.
okay. Well, maybe you should spin it a bit more.
I spun it actually about 3 months ago again for a time, and yeah, but felt
Yeah,
very fast.
Nox is way different. It's just a whirlwind of riffs, you know. The
Yeah,
guitar is a fucking crazy, and all the drum patterns, and especially Seth's vocals, you know, and his vocal lines, man. I mean, I've been singing those songs for quite some years, and it's pretty tough. It's no gay shit, bro. It's the real deal. I can tell you that. The same with Centurion.
yeah,
You know, it was always great to sing those songs live.
yeah. So
I really like it.
speaking of Centurion and shit like that, and you and I have been talking a lot in the last couple months on WhatsApp, and
Yeah.
you were going out as well. How did just out of curiosity, I asked Seth briefly, and he was kind of brief. I didn't want to like bug him, around his birthday. How was his birthday barbecue and how did it go down? Did you guys talk to Rob and all that? How was the
I don't
events?
know. I don't know because I wasn't there.
What the fuck? You said you were going.
Yeah, that was the plan, but I didn't go. So
Dude, fucking
next
gayness beyond.
question.
Why did you
I
what was more important? Did you have to go watch fucking goddamn the new Harry Potter or something? Like what the hell? What do you got going on?
no man, I was not in the mood, man. You know, I didn't went there. So yeah.
Oh shit, man!
So
He was
I don't know what they discussed or whatever. You know. So
yeah. He said he did mention it to him, and he's like we'll see. He's like I think I got him to at least pick up his guitar again. He's like but
yeah,
he's like Rob's very what did he say? He's very grumpy and I think grumpy and something else. I was like he's the Glenn Benton of fucking the Netherlands. I was like I fucking love it.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
that
Rob is always busy. You know, he's always. I don't see him that much, but I know he's always busy with work. You know, his own company. And the last thing that I know is that he plays a lot of piano. And but the last thing he said to me that he was going to play guitar anytime soon. So that's already a good thing, I think.
how
It's
long
a
were
pity that he doesn't play it anymore. You know what I mean? The guy's fucking makes all those great songs, great riffs. You know, it's fucking. For me, it was always very nice to be with him in a band. You know.
it's funny. He reminds me of somebody that I'm not going to say name on camera because it might get me in trouble. But similar mindset, but more in the black metal style. A person I know personally in the
Yeah.
Ohio scene, and has the talent and has the artistic vision that everything he does, people like, but he just wants nothing to do with it. Like he's just for whatever reason, Rob reminds me very much of that. So I'm almost positive I understand the mindset extremely well. No, I take that back. I don't understand the mindset, but I should say I've experienced the mindset with somebody I know where it's like, dude, you have literally a fucking underground gold mine in front of you. I mean, your demo and everything you've ever did, people like wanted it. And some people might be able to put two together. Even before I started the channel, and when we'd have Hell's Head Bash, they'd be like, "Man, you guys ever gonna put on CD X? Like, what's?" I'm like, he doesn't want it out. Like, what? What? And like, he's gonna do anything else? I'm like, I would love them to do my show. I was like, he doesn't want to do anything. I was like, I don't know. It's fucking weird. I was like, but, and he's very much like, kind of like, again, what reminds me of Rob, uh, the spiritual side of it, very much into it, like takes it very, very seriously. So everything, all boxes check. They check well, but for whatever reason, it's just like has this bitterness that doesn't want to do it.
I think I have the same thing with Prostitute Disfigurement. When you're out for several years, then you don't care about that building up fan base or that kind of stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. If you're really out, you only are busy with different things, and the music, that doesn't really care. I had the same, but now since a few weeks, I will start something new, a new band with some Prostitute Disfigurement members. It's still in the beginning.
It's nothing you've been telling me about, right? It's not the
no, it's completely new. It's completely new. So soon I will pick up the microphone again after 5 years. So that's yeah.
That's very cool to know, and I guess that'll lead me into the first question. Talk about your bands, because I got a lot of shit to talk to you about. Having said that, I thought it was weird because we got your package. By the way, we're going through the Prostitute shit like fucking water. Like we sold a lot of it already. So yeah, the only albums I knew by Prostitute Disfigurement, which I'm a big fan of, is the first two albums. And Ball Madness is my favorite because I bought it off Brian Baxter at his shop when I was either 2000, 2001. So I would have been 15, 16, but it was right around the year it came out or the year after. So it came out in 2000, right?
It came out in 2001.
Okay, then maybe I got an 01 or 02. I don't think I either got the year it came out or the year after. So I would have been 16 or 17. And I loved it. And then Deeds of Derangement, I was kind of late to it, but I got it and I loved that too, but I didn't have it all the years. And then the last two, I fell off. I thought they never came my way. I never saw them. They came to the shop and I listened to them and I liked them as death metal albums. But the first thing that crossed my mind is but I was going to ask the question regardless because when you did Centurion, but since it's the same band, it's even more relevant. The thing is that stood out, like, why did you drastically change your vocals? Like, I mean, they're completely different. Like, and I'm listening to them, like, I think it was the Self-Type. I think it was maybe it was Descendants of Depravity. I think it was that when I'm listening, like, who do the vocals remind me of? And I was like, and I'm thinking, I was like, they're similar to a band like Eon, which I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't understand, like, because on the first two records, they're like a guttural, gurgling, like gore grind style vocals, which I thought phenomenal. I loved them. But on these, they're just kind of like standard death metal vocals. Like, why did you do that? For the same, it made sense for Centurion, but why in the same band, Prostitute, like you completely changed the formula?
Well, I think that it had to do with I was also at the same time in Knox. So Knox vocals are very, you can hear the lyrics, you can hear the words more, like maybe like old Benton Vincent style of vocals. But when we were writing the Descendants of the Depravity album from Prostitute Disfigurement, the music was becoming a bit more, better, like more structured, a bit more melody in a good way, so my vocals automatically changed. Because if I want to do, the low guttural on that would be we had something like, no fucking way. This sounds horrible. And to be honest, I was also very bored with the constant ooh vocals, they're constantly the same, After 3 records and a demo, I was a bit done with that as a vocalist. Really boring, not really of a challenge. So then I came a Knox, and that was really a challenge, like fucking lyrics as long as, like A4 lyrics, constantly going. It was crazy. And that made me a better singer.
That makes sense. The boredom part makes sense because that's what I tell people when and I listened to it, but I'm like, and I thought it was pretty good. People were like, hey, it took me a while. Like, what'd you think of the new Broadaquin or whatever? I was like, I wasn't like excited to listen to it. I'm like, because I like the first 2 records. I was like, a band like that and their first album, Instruments of Torture, I like a lot. But when it comes to that style, the Disgorges and stuff like that, I was like, I really don't need 10 albums by that stuff because it really I wouldn't say you get bored. I was like, it just gets repetitive. Like you can't really tell it apart.
Yeah, true.
So I guess in your sense, for doing it, for you doing it yourself, singing it, I guess I can understand that perspective. It gets boring or just like it's been done. Like and well, what I can understand it is, I always say around that 2005, I just started getting annoyed with that genre because there were so many bands doing it. I'm like, dude, you guys are all just ripped. I was like, I can't tell any of this bullshit apart.
Yeah, it's true. I know. But I think that when we started Prostitute Disfigurement, back then in Holland, you had some good bands.
Yeah.
You know, like if you look like Severe Torture, Inhume, Paemia, Disavote, it's all Dutch, but it's all different. It's all brutal death metal.
Dude, it's
But
funny.
the
We
sound
just
is
got
all
that
different.
Osmos Records just repressed the Inhume first album, Decomposed from Inside. And I've
That's
been,
fucking good album.
dude, I've been wanting to do that on Hells for
Yeah.
years. Because the second album I didn't like that much. I liked the first one, Decomposed from Inside, very much. And we got them in from Osmos, and it's selling pretty decent. Should be selling better, in my opinion. But that's a grindcore masterpiece. And again, and it's not because, obviously, how I like the Severe Torch and Centurion a lot. It's not to blow you guys or anything, but I was like, as I was doing the math, I was like, I think Holland is better than Finland as far as bands. I was like, I really do.
Yeah.
And it's like, but the thing is I actually, I'm surprised I didn't get as desecrated in the comments as I thought I would. But everybody blows fucking Finland and Sweden, and I'm like, I don't know, band. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Finnish bands. I like Early and Pale Nazarene, and I like the Abhorrent stuff. And the First Sentence record is good, but I don't think it's great. But for example, like the First Sentence, it's a good death metal album, but I think Sinister's way better. I think the first two
Yeah.
Gorefest albums are way better. The stuff
Yeah.
out of Holland, just like as a whole, because I never did the math until recently. I'm like, I'm sorry, I think Holland is a way better death metal / extreme metal country as a whole than fucking Finland is. And you'll never hear anyone else say that ever.
I think the bands of Finland, they wimped out very fast, you know.
That's another
If you
thing,
look
dude.
at,
I
they
will
always
say,
had like, a good demo,
yeah,
a good demo, good AP, and then when the full length came, for example, a drummer leg, it was all very polished, and after one song, you turn it off. It doesn't stick in my mind.
yeah.
I think with death metal is very important. The fucking riffs, the riffs are so important. Shit riff, shit song. It's so easy as that. Good vocal lines also very important for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a band like for you from your own home country, like a band like Sinister, what was your cutoff for them? I'm doubting you like every single album, maybe, but I mean, I doubt it. Like, did you have a cutoff? Like, what was the last one you liked?
Aggressive Measures.
Okay, that's pretty
And
much mine.
after that it was just boring, or I don't know, man. It was not Sinister. I must say, Eric, the vocalist on Aggressive Measures, does a great job on that one. I was always a big fan of Mike.
Yeah, 100%.
Mike is a great vocalist.
Did you like Mike's other band then, the Howitzer?
I only know the first one.
Because I think there's one of them he doesn't sing. I think maybe the second one he doesn't sing on. I've heard there's one of them I heard I didn't like at all. It might be the second, third, maybe the Womb or something.
Rage from Inside the Womb or something. Is that one?
I think so. Yeah. I remember not liking that at all.
No.
But their latest record, it was actually Antichrist Kramer that sent it to me, and I listened to some songs on YouTube. I'm like, and it's Mike singing again. I was like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah. Okay.
That came out a year ago or so, like recently. But and we haven't even got them in stock or nothing. I don't know who's distributing that. Okay. But do you know Mike personally from Sinister?
No.
Never met him. Nothing.
I saw him back in the days a few times live, and but I never had a conversation with him or something.
Because you guys got to be roughly the same age.
No, Mike is older.
But you're
I'm 47.
Oh, I was thinking you're 50. I thought for whatever reason you're 50. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, Mike is a few years older than me. It has to be, I think. So yeah.
No, it made sense. They start earlier but I remember when I looked it up, the age, I was surprised how old you were, because I thought, you'd be like 45 or something like that. And I thought I saw 50, but no, I was actually surprised how young Seth is too. I didn't realize he's only 8 years older than me. Because when I met him,
he looks old.
Well, no, that's not. It's not because of that though. The reason I thought that is because when I first met him, I was 16 years old, and I just assumed, I don't know, it's a 30-year-old man, 35-year-old, just because I'm a kid. And then you do the math, he was 24. I'm like, oh, you're only 8 years older than me. I was like, I thought I'm always just thinking everybody is so much older than me at the time because everybody I was meeting back then, I was 15, 16, 17. I just
Yeah.
assumed everybody's 30 or 40, just some dumbass kid not actually doing the
Yeah.
math, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
so then how did that it's funny too because I didn't it wasn't one of those things I looked up. It was I picked it up, saw the name, and again, I don't know the full first and last name of every single band I listened to, and not to mention in Holland, for whatever reason, you guys are all famous for only putting your first names on albums, like even Sinister did that. So
Yeah.
when I bought and it pretty much got it immediately when it came out, the Centurion Contra Rationum, dude, I didn't find out until like 2-3 years ago that was you singing on it, the singer of Prostitute Disfigurement. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I was like, and his vocals are drastically different. How did that ended up you doing vocals for Centurion like come about? Like, because I didn't even know, like, again, other than you guys being fellow countrymen, there was like, I never in my mind, as a fan of Prostitute Disfigurement, fan of Centurion, I never collided the two that there was any correlation. Granted, it makes sense. Fellow countrymen can be friends. It's just to me, I never collided the two in my dumbass mind.
Yeah, I have to think. It was when Prostitute Disfigurement played. I think it was 2006 on Stonehenge Festival in Holland, and Rob was there as well. And I knew Rob already, like from 2001, 2002, and so I asked him, "Hey man, how are you doing?" Blah blah blah, the normal stuff, and he said, "Yeah, I need a singer and I need a bass player." And so I said to him, like, "Hey man, I can do an audition, for Knox." It was Knox. I said, well, what, you? Can you sing like that? Can you sing like Seth, Can you sing like, that you can hear the words and everything? I said, yeah, of course. So I prepared one song. Yeah. So I prepared one song and I went to the studio. And what I can remember was that it was a very small studio. And Rob was sitting more in the living room. And I was already singing. And he still thought it was Seth. Or he said, hey, is this Niels singing? What the fuck? So yeah, that's how it went.
Well, he's just like, oh, okay, you're you're in.
Yeah, I did one song. I still have it here on fucking disc, man. That audition. So yeah.
What song was it? If you don't mind me asking, do you remember?
It was Zakkar Zamran.
Okay.
And I think with the demo it's called Gorazon the Eternal, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Wait, I can look quickly.
Oh, you just have it right there.
It was a demo track. Gorazon the Eternal. You have to listen to this one, man. Zaza's demo, fucking good.
That's the because like I said, I just had the first full length, and so and I would love to interview Rob as well. And I asked something about it, and he said, I asked him, he said he'll think about it. I was like, well, I already know what that means. That's code for no. It's like, it's realistically, other than sitting there for 10 minutes, what else is it? How long do you need to think about it? But like, since he seemed to be the mastermind behind the lyrics, it seemed like Seth didn't know much either. And maybe you don't. Do you know what the whole Chorazonic theme was? Because he kept that going, not just because on Chorazonic Chaos Gods, obviously that was the name of the album, but on the Knox album, they actually have a song called Chorazonic Chaos Gods on the debut. He was really running with that theme and the chaos is the way and all that. The 333 number. Do you know what the whole line is of that? Is that something that he just kind of pulled out of his ass, or is that a religious belief that's also followed by others? Like, do you know any of that stuff behind it? Because I always thought the whole concept was cool and different than just standard, whether it be a Lester Crowley or type Satanism or Anton LaVey. It seemed like it was a form of Satanism, but not what you hear all these kids talking about. Is that anything you have any insight on, or he just kind of he wrote the lyrics and he just kept the concepts to himself and didn't really talk about it?
Yeah, I think that was a thing. It's I think something like that is very, very personal, and maybe he also wanted, because like Centurion, we stopped with that. Then it was Knox, so maybe he also would like let the people know, like, hey man, it's Knox, but the opening title is Goblins on the Gales Gods. Just my former band was Centurion, maybe something like that in a way,
Yeah.
But it's yeah, you have to ask him that himself. You know,
I
it's
was
pretty
hoping.
personal, man.
Yeah, I was hoping
I
to.
mean, I am talking to you now. Nobody, I never did any fucking interview in my life because I don't give a shit. I'm seriously about this. I really don't care. But it's you are so very fanatical and everything, and yeah, that's what I like, you know. And it's if you see the nowadays the labels, they're all fucking rats, man. It's all bullshit. All the
Oh,
labels.
100%, dude. All of them. I mean,
Oh man, I fucking
I've thrown,
shit on that, man. I hate it.
I've thrown them all under the bus, man. For the most part, I think they're just fucking posers that are just running a business. Now, don't get me wrong.
Yep, that's
I do
it.
this. I do this as a business as well. And this is how I make a living. But I'm very,
Yeah,
very honest about it. Like I only show stuff on camera that I am truly passionate about, and I will tell you point blank if somebody asks me, even if we have it in stock, I was like, I don't like it. I think this shit sucks. For example, we have tons in stock of bands like Moonblood, Vlad Tepes. We sell it. We've been selling it for 20 years. I think that shit's garbage. I'm not
yeah,
going to lie to you and sit there and tell you. I'm just not going. I refuse to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. As opposed to some of these guys, Relapse or something. You know damn well half the guys working there, they don't listen to this fucking shit. Maybe they'll listen to Cannibal Corpse and Dying Fetus. Even that's a
yeah,
fucking even that's a fucking maybe. But it's just it's just very, very corporate. And yeah, so I can totally understand that side of it. And myself as well, doing the videos and stuff like that, I get that vibe. Even with doing interviews and stuff, some of them are a little bit like because it's got to be something I'm passionate to talk about, and some of it very, very much so that I want to do. Some of it's just
yeah,
kind of all right, got to do because for the video for the day. But because I mean, doing a video every single day, you're gonna kind of run out of shit. And some
yeah,
interviews,
yeah, yeah. I understand.
to
Yeah,
do some interviews, it's like I like the guys as persons, as them personally. I was like, but I don't
yeah,
really like their music. You know what I mean?
yeah. I know also a lot of people like that.
So I can
I'm also
totally,
pretty straightforward with music, what I like and what I don't like. If they're friends or not, I will always say my opinion. Why should you lie to a friend about the band shit, you know, or the production, or you know?
yeah,
I think music is very personal.
I agree,
You
100%.
know, I can talk with you for 10 hours straight about death metal. You know, it goes on forever.
Yeah,
But it's just an opinion, you know.
yeah.
A lot of people think I'm very weird because I only listen to black metal and death metal, nothing else.
Oh, so you don't listen
I
to you don't even listen like Merciful Fate or anything like that?
No, it's total garbage to me.
Oh,
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I hate heavy metal, dude. It's
okay. What about
horrible music to me.
okay? But what about what about like early Slayer and Metallica? You don't like that either?
Slayer, old Slayer, I really like. You know, the 80s Slayer, beginning of the 90s. That's probably my favorite records. Metallica, no. This
No,
fucking gay
nothing.
shit,
Not even
man.
Kill 'Em All.
You know the stand. When I say that, you know, like the Vermont, the Beltals, the stuff you always hear in bars and shit. I know
Yeah,
that. I know the songs from Iron Maiden. Do I like it? Fuck no.
yeah.
Horrible music for me. I cannot stand it. Yes.
What is that? Oh, see,
Oh,
yeah. People rip on me for not liking shit. And I keep telling
good.
these.
I am way worse.
That's it, dude. I keep telling these fucking 16-year-old virgins working at Taco Bell, living in their mom's fucking basement, talking shit in my comments about me. I'm like, dude, leave your fucking house. You haven't been in the scene at all. I was like, my opinion is actually pretty open-minded compared to others that are out there. I was like, I gotta say, I never met anyone that doesn't like Merciful Fate or Iron Maiden. That is a first. But I was like, what I grew up around, the guys I talked to, I was like, their stance on metal was way fucking harsher than mine. Again, like
Yeah.
I'll mention, like guys like Dawn of the Dead and shit. He didn't like anything after 1989, with the exceptions of the rule. Like if it was a really old school band playing that style, he would call Deicide, Cannibal Corpse, all that stuff. That's that 90s junk. I don't like
Yeah.
that. That's the opinions I grew up around. And people think me saying I don't like Morbid Angel Domination. Oh my God. I'm like, the fuck? I was like, these guys didn't even like Ultras of Madness. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I understand Dawn of the Dead. I have that with the music. I will say the music after the millennium sucks.
The music after what?
After the millennium, so after 2000, I don't listen to that shit. You know, of course I started my band in around that time. You know, that's
So I
true.
know,
But
I know.
I
It's
also
funny.
like to fucking make music. You know, and
it's funny because I hear it, and I understand what you're saying 100% because when I say some shit and as I hear I say it and I repeat it, I can totally understand why someone be like, this guy's a fucking hypocrite. That don't make any sense. I'm like, no, I'm not a hypocrite. It's just the mindset is, and number one, I'm talking majority speaks. Like you just said, the things from the 2000s basically sucks.
Yeah.
For the most part, I agree,
Yeah.
but there's exceptions to the rule. There's going to be stuff that I do like, but as a whole, if you take, for example, if you take everything that came out in 2024 and 2025, so let's say that's about 18 months, a year and a half. I'm sorry, there's probably only going to be about 5 or 6 things in totality that I like. And if let's say there was 500 things that came out, okay, I liked 5 things. The other 495 I thought was either mediocre or I completely care less about. So as a whole, yeah, I don't like most of
Yeah. I think 5 or 6 albums is also that's a lot.
it.
I
I
think.
agree. I know that's what I'm saying exactly, and that's why I think that's pretty open minded because some people will make fun. This guy doesn't like anything fucking new. He's talking about the geezers in the scene. Because I'll rip on the geezers that don't like anything past like what they grew up on. And I'm kind of falling in that category myself. I was like, but I'm not. What I rip on is the guys that are who are a little bit older than you. Let's say they're in their 50s and they're Mr. Metal to the Bone, chains and leather, and they talk about the 80s and they're thrashed till death, brother. But they literally never even heard of Toxic Holocaust because that's a 2000s band. Like
Yeah.
forget they don't like them. They never even heard of them. I'm like, dude, you're kind of out of the loop, geezer. That's not that Mr. Metal. I was like, you never even heard of them. I was like, that's extremely out of the fucking loop. And I know guys like that personally that I've met. I'm like, come on, man. The last thing you heard was fucking Overkill, Feel the Fire. That's not. You're kind of like, but what I'm getting at is I've known them growing up, like, and it's not said, but it's insinuated by others that those individuals are almost metal authorities. I'm like, how the fuck
Yeah.
are they an authority if they don't know anything past 85? That's what always just
Yeah.
kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
My story is I have my brother is 7 years older than me,
Mm-hmm.
so he's at the moment 54. He listened and still listens, like old hardcore punk, the Paul Latney stuff,
Yeah.
That's the stuff I grew up with. I grew up with Attitude to Judgment, fucking Cryptic Slaughter, all that stuff, Unseen Terror, all Napalm Death, also as well, all that, Heresy. So for me, there was no fucking room for Iron Maiden or for Metallica for that rim shit. You know what? That's when I was 10 years old. I was listening to fucking Napalm Death Scum.
You know, it's funny you say
So
that.
you don't go back. You know what I mean? For me, then I found out the earache bands. Like hey, fucking Aldous Madness, Terrorizer. All that stuff, man. This is the fucking shit, man. That's what I liked. That
You
was I
know,
was living for, man.
it's so funny, and I don't mind. I'm not a person that is so prideful to admit if I was wrong, or if I learned something along the way, or if I was late to the game. But me growing up, and even into my 20s and shit, I always would have thought I thought metal, and I'm talking about even if you went back to the early 80s, so when it started, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, that was the most hard music on the planets at the time. So, like in 1980, I figured Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, right? Coming up,
Yeah,
Venom. I always thought that. Now, and I would think like punk and shit, nah, that's kind of wimpy. That's kind of pussy. Or at least it's not as hard as metal. As I got older and get into it, and you do the math, the hard like bands like the Exploited and the Misfits and Negative Approach. I'm like, as far as like extremity and hard and attitude and energy, I'm like, that's way tougher than fucking wimpy ass Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. I mean, take Negative Approach, put on Negative Approach next to pansy ass Iron Maiden. Which, for the record, I like Iron Maiden. I just like poking fun at it because it makes the old guys mad. Negative Approach is way more intense than Iron Maiden, and that's around the same time frame. I mean, Negative Approach's first EP was what, 80, 81, I think? Might even be
yeah,
79. Probably not 79, 80 or 81, I think. Because Negative Approach is my favorite hardcore band of all
okay.
time. And going to listen to the aggression and the anger, I'm like, but you put on that over Iron Maiden Killers, it's like that pounds those pussies into dust.
Yeah, true. I mean, for me, metal in the 80s was fucking gay. Yes. Yeah, come on. For example, listen to fucking Heresy album, the first one.
Which album?
from Heresy, Face Up to It.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, man, I don't understand. The same with thrash metal. Why do you play thrash metal? Or listen to that. Listen to fucking death metal. Thrash metal is fucking boring.
Okay, well, with that being said, then what about what is your stance then? Because there's the argument thrash metal or death metal. What is to you? What is Possessed Seven Churches? Is that thrash metal? Is that death metal? And is that even a record you like?
I knew you were going to ask me this, but I think it's not. Yeah, for me, I was discussing this with a friend of mine a few days ago. The first death metal record. If Abomination of Desolation was an original release, that was the first one, I think.
I can see that. I can see.
Before dude,
I literally listened to Abominations of Desolation yesterday. I mean, I listen to that record at least 3 times a year to date, easily.
Yeah. It's a good record. But for me, no, it's not death metal. Seven Churches.
Oh, okay. 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 And then second part, do you like that record? Seven Churches.
No, not really.
Okay.
I like a few songs. I like what's it, Burning in Hell, Evil Warriors, few things, but the production annoys me, and especially the drumming. You know, it's
the drumming sloppy as fuck. Yeah, but
it's sloppy.
But the way
I try to listen to it more.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite song on there is the second song, Pentagram. Like when it goes that opening intro.
Yeah, that's also a good one.
I mean, and there's just the main riff. I like that a lot. So and Satan's Curse, God Dethroned covered Satan's Curse, and I thought their cover was fantastic too.
Okay. Oh, I never heard that cover.
No, I think it was a bonus track on. Don't quote me on this. I think it was the bonus track on the double disc version of Into the Lungs of Hell. DAWG owns it, of course. I'm pretty sure it's on that. The cover of Satan's Curse.
I never heard the album, so I don't know.
You never heard
I only know the first 3 God Dethroned records, and the demo I know, that's it.
But do you like, okay, but put you this way, did you like Grand Grimoire and Bloody Blasphemy?
Yeah.
Then you should definitely listen to Into the Lungs of Hell. It's funny because when it first... Yeah, because I thought that record was great too. Now, the opening song, which is the title track, it's more mid-paced and mild, but as a whole, it's great. But I mean, good. It's kind of... It's a song, but it's almost like it gets it sets the pace with, kind of like a lot of bands obviously use intros. It's almost like an intro, but it's an actual song that sets the pace, and then the rest out. I think it's a fantastic record. Fantastic. I mean, in my opinion, I think, again, coming from Holland, as a whole, that mix of black and death metal, as a whole, I think God Dethroned is the best black and death metal band ever. Because number one, I think Grand Grimoire and Bloody Blasphemy are probably my favorite black and death metal records of all time. And they're the only band that has they got to have at least 10 records by now, that I like every single record by them. Now, granted, some are better than others. And I picked up the last record recently. I liked it. I mean, it's not fucking Bloody Blasphemy good, not even close. But I was like, I enjoyed it. I was like, this is a good record. It's definitely more mild. It's definitely more easy listening, I guess, compared to that. Yeah. But I still thoroughly enjoyed it. So,
I don't really like easy listening stuff.
I'm being harsh. It's not actually easy. I'm just saying it doesn't have the intensity level of Grand Grimoire, fucking Bloody Blasphemy.
Yeah, but I don't know the rest. I think I heard that Ravenous album.
That was awesome, dude. The Poison Apple's on there.
Yeah, I heard it back then.
Dude, it's got that fucking blazing ass machine, Tony. I don't know what the fuck his last name is.
Yeah, he's
Tony
a great drummer, man.
Dude, he's phenomenal. Because that he plays drums on that, and my favorite Angel Corpse records, The Inexorable, he plays drums on that. Dude, if you don't like Angel Corpse, The Inexorable, you don't bang chicks, man. You just flat out don't. You're hanging out at that goddamn gay bar, that Prostitute Disfigurement. What's the song called? The Gay Bar Massacre?
Gay Bar Massacre.
Gay Bar Massacre, yeah. You're hanging out at that gay bar that there's a massacre at, Prostitute Disfigurement style. I mean, I'm just saying, who the fuck likes death metal and puts on Inexorable and be like, this sucks? I was like, to me, you don't bang chicks.
Total wimp. It's funny that you say that now, because what I want to say to you is, like, for 6 months straight, I had fucking Exterminate in my car from Angel Corpse.
Hallelujah is my favorite song on there.
Fucking good, man. Yeah, it's fucking that's fucking death metal.
100%.
You know, Gene's riffs and you know the Pete's voice, man. It's that.
Dude, Angel Corpse. I always say this. My description when any hoagie ass fucking poser comes up to me, and I've had them. What does Angel Corpse sound like, bro? I was like, the best way I can describe it is it's like Ultras of Madness, Morbid Angel Worship on fucking meth. That's the
Yeah.
best way I can describe it.
Yeah, it's really great band. And I must say, I like all the records.
So do I.
Normally,
No,
I don't have one band that I like all the records. Well, Angel Corpse albums, I like all. It's fucking good.
it's funny because when they broke up and they came back and they did Of Lucifer and Lightning, when it first
Yeah,
came out, I didn't like it because it didn't have the blasting and the intensity of Inexorable. But as the years went on, I'd throw because I bought it. I'd throw it on the player. I was like, it's a good record. I was like, I
it's
like
good,
it.
man.
Yeah.
The
But
songs
it
are
took,
good. The songwriting is good.
yeah. But it took a
It
little
is.
bit to grow on me because when it first came out, I was disappointed. So,
I can honestly, yeah, you can hear that it's a bit maybe recorded separately. You know, there was no real band chemistry there. Not like
yeah.
the older records.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if that's when the two started bickering and fighting, which I don't even know what the full story is behind that. I just know they don't get along. I have no idea why. I don't know whatever happened. It's just kind of a shame because I thought they had good chemistry, Pete and Gene, but
yeah, too
obviously it
bad.
didn't work. It didn't work out for whatever reason, and I don't ask girl gossip shit because at the end of the day I kind of don't care. But it's just a shame that it didn't work out. Just kind of like with you think Venom's gay as fuck. I think a band like Venom, even though you don't like it, it's the three original guys, Kronos, Mantis, and Abaddon. I think those guys are bona fide fucking retarded businessmen. Because realistically, dude, unless one of the guys fucked the other guy's wife or something, there's nothing that you three should be mad at each other about to where it's like, just get back together, the three of you, and just do shows. You got a gold mine sitting there and
Yeah,
they're bickering like little fucking 14-year-old girls and this Venom Inc. and all this stupid side shit and it's retarded. I'm like, just dude, swallow your pride. And you guys are big enough to where you don't have to share hotel rooms or anything. Just deal with
yeah,
each other, fucking they'll have one of those big ass tour bands sit on. One guy sits up front, one guy sits in the middle, one guy sits in the back, separate each other.
yeah.
You deal with each other. That's how I would do it. I mean, if I had something to where it's like hundreds, literally six figures on the line per year to make of something that you started for passion, there's no fucking way I wouldn't just suck it up. I'll deal with this a-hole for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah,
That's the way I see
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know.
It's yeah, yeah. I don't like Venom, so but you know the answer already. No,
So that's only a good thing for you. You don't gotta see that shitty band come through net for the through Howland
dude, I never go to shows
ever.
since the last. I can't even remember when I went to a metal show. I don't know.
Like when you say can't remember, are we talking years or are you just
Yeah, it was probably my. I think it was my own show from Prostitute Disfigurement in 2019 in London. I think that was the last show we did. And then was the plan in 2020 to write a new record, the seventh album. But then the pandemic came.
yeah.
So yeah, everything turned to shit, with the rehearsing and you couldn't meet up and stuff like that. So yeah, since then I did nothing. Yeah, of course we did the MB9 EP and the full length as a project a few years later, and that CD came out on some shit label that has total no promotion, and that I have something like, why do you have a fucking record label?
Mm.
Why put out 500 pieces, zero promotion?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a bit weird, but and yeah, that was the last time I did if I hold the microphone, and it was years ago.
Okay. Yeah, I'll chime in on that if you want. You actually, we're just under a minute now. I can send you another link if you're good, Niels.
All right, sure.
Just give it a few minutes for this to download and shit, but I'll just send it to you and I'll text you on WhatsApp. But why don't you sign them off on this part fucking one? Sign these
Yeah.
wimps off. Give them an outro. You got something up your sleeve?
What?
I said, give them an out. Give these wimps an outro.
An outro? No gay shit, motherfuckers. See you later.
No gay shit. Later, goddamn it. See you on part 2.
All right.